Good afternoon and welcome to NWCR's Removing the Liberal Blindfold for this 4th day of January in the year of our Lord 2021. The Democrats have moved from there's not any fraud to there's not widespread fraud to what they are saying now, which is there's not enough fraud to overturn the election. Rick Grinnell of the former Director of National Intelligence said this. From the Epic Times comes today's update, and folks, these are things that we as Americans have got to be listening to and taking into account, for the Democrats keep saying things that literally prove they know they cheated this election and that Trump really won. President Donald Trump is in a really good position for Wednesday's challenge in Congress, according to former Director of National Intelligence Rick Grinnell. About a dozen senators, led by Senators Josh Hawley, Republican of Missouri, and Ted Cruz, Republican of Texas, are challenging states' electoral votes. Well over 40 House lawmakers are also slated to partake in the challenge on January 6, just 2 days away, when the joint session of Congress meets. Grinnell said, and this is a quote, every single time we tried to bring this forward to the courts, they've been largely dismissive. So I think that the rule of law and the process is that on Wednesday we get to showcase this to the politicians and see where the chips fall, unquote. He also praised Senator Cruz, who called for an emergency audit of the election results. And to you Democrats out there, this is nothing that you wouldn't do if you had lost in the ways that spelled out cheating, so get over yourselves. He is trying every possible legal effort to highlight this fraud, so we just have to have people that are willing to listen, Grinnell said. The problem is the Democrats keep sticking their liberal judges in the mix, and legally or illegally, they just won't listen. Some of the so-called rhino Republicans, the ones that are Republican in name only, like traitor Mitt Romney of Utah, Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania, and Murkowski of Alaska, have said they will not join the challenge. Of course not. They would rather have a cheater and a fibber be the president than Trump, who is actually keeping his promises to the American people. Trump, after all, is the kind of president that scares those kind of politicians to death. And now to remove the liberal blindfold here, folks. Courage is contagious. When a brave man takes a stand, the spines of others are often stiffened. The Reverend Billy Graham said that, but it is also true that cowardice and lying are also contagious. If you tell the truth, you may even lose friends over it, but you will not be right in the eyes of God. But if you tell a lie enough times, it will be perceived as the truth, even though it is still a lie, and God will see what you are doing, and that is lying. Biden has lied to the American people to get elected, and he is still lying. He is now saying, again, that he was the first to take coronavirus seriously, when in fact Trump was. He is saying that he was the first to do anything about it, when in fact Trump was. Trump did it earlier in the day, and everybody was telling him he was being stupid to do that. Folks, if the fail-safes in our government and the Constitution are continued to be sidestepped by the government and the courts, we are in for an America the Founding Fathers fail-safed us against. But the liberal socialist left has been fighting for this. We have to realize that once these freedoms that are being taken away from us are gone, they will not be gotten back without much bloodshed and misery. And right now the government has the military, and that leaves we the people in a horrible strait. We will not be able to win this one and our freedoms, our Constitution, and our laws without much bloodshed, and if we don't fight for it, our laws and everything will be gone forever. This is not a joke. Biden is one of the ones that plans all this for we the people. If the courts and the fail-safes do not do what they should have done and given President Trump the presidency, we will never, ever have a free and fair election again. This will be one of our freedoms that will be lost. Thank you all for listening and watching, and I will be back tomorrow with the next installment of NWCR's Removing the Liberal Blindfold, brought to you through Conservative Nation Media, the place where America always wins. And remember, if we want our freedoms, we will fight. Some of us already are. The rest are just waiting to see what will happen. And what will happen has been chronicled here on NWCR Radio and NWCR's Removing the Liberal Blindfold, where we always say we will not be ruled. God bless you all, and see you again tomorrow.